Modes of extinguishing obligation. So last part na tayo, and then let's move on na sa contracts. Okay? So but before that, please, can you comment CPA Dreams? Okay? If you like coffee, then have your own coffee. Bago ako mag-start, please do comment CPA Dreams. If you have any questions, no, please do it. Okay, you ask questions now, no, while I'm drinking my coffee, while we are waiting for others to come. So please do share it. And if my sounds is okay and there is no any issues, because later I'm going to share a PowerPoint. Okay, and then so that is our agenda, modes of extinguishing obligations, and siguro I will answer any questions. Okay, so please do comment CPA Dreams. Okay, so let me just check. No, lalapit ako ng konti. I just want to check yung comments ninyo. Okay, so please. So comment CPA Dreams, mga kapatid, para medyo ganahan tayo ngayon. Okay, then siguro magsha-shoutout ako sa mga nagwa-watch live. Okay. So, eto, hawak ko yung cellphone ko din. Okay, Jehara, thank you for sharing. Okay. So, dun sa mga watching live, so please comment CPA Dreams, no? Okay, so please do so kasi medyo mahaba ng konti yung ating discussions. Okay, and then what I'm going to do as well is, okay, siguro dun sa mga upcoming live sessions natin, after nitong obligations and contracts, I will move sa management advisory services. Kasi for the last 2 months, no, puros theories. Okay, so I want to do computations or problem solving para I can refresh myself. Kasi previously, no, puros theories, and concepts. So this time, let's apply, no? Siguro the best way to do it is through management advisory services. So costing. And then after that, yes, whole management advisory services. But next month, let's finish contracts and then I will move sa management advisory services. Okay, and those that are in CPALET test banks and handouts and CPA SPLE test banks and handouts, thank you so much kasi we have done yung cash and accounts receivable, and then I recorded also the inventory. Okay, I check your emails. I sent you the link where to check yung inventory sessions natin. And then all the PowerPoint, no, all the PowerPoint of cash, accounts receivable, and inventory. And I created few multiple choice questions. So it's on the www.cpadreams.com courses. So log in and check kung ano yung nadagdag. Then doon na po siya sa financial accounting and reporting. So makikita nyo siya doon. So grab it, no, para makuha nyo po. Okay? So then any questions? May questions ba tayo before I move on sa main agenda natin, which is extinguishing obligations? Okay, please comment. Okay, I'll just finish my copy. Okay, meron ba? May questions kayo? Any questions or any suggestions? Meron ba tayo? Let me just check. Kasi hindi ko makikita yung questions nyo kung meron. So let me know. Okay, so shout out kay Glenn, kay Roland, kay MM, kay Zay. Okay, so shout out po sa mga nanonood sa atin ng live. Okay, pasensya na, mahilig tayo sa coffee kasi yan lang yung anong tawag doon? Addiction ko talaga is coffee. Okay, aside from reading books, I love reading books. Ang dami kong binabasang libro talaga. Okay, so meron bang questions? I haven't seen any questions. Okay, so walang questions ngayon. So magmo-move tayo sa discussion. Okay, pasensya na. Okay, so gustong-gusto ko lang talaga yung magkape bago tayo mag-start. Okay, so modes of extinguishing obligations. But before that, okay, tips lang again sa theories and concepts. Ang kailangan mo lang kunin, okay, yung konsepto. Ano ba yung concepts behind it? Okay, so laging ganyan yung pag-check ng mga theories pinag-aaralan natin, lalo na sa RFDT, Auditing Theory, Theory of Accounts. So, read between the lines, get the concepts, and then apply it. Okay, so kung nag-aaral ka ng Theory of Accounts, then apply it sa financial accounting and reporting. And then if you are good already in answering problems sa financial accounting and reporting, then you move sa auditing problems para merong theories, concepts, and then problems. Ganyan nag-aaral. Okay? So, ang topic natin is RFBT. Again, please like and share mga kapatid. Okay, so we can reach CPA aspirants or BSA undergrad students that are studying, no? Yung mga nag-aaral. Okay, so hopefully talaga, even during weekend, no? During weekend, nag-aaral kayo kasi that's very, very important, no? So, modes of extinguishing obligations. So, meron tayong main, no? Yung 6 extinguishment of obligation. So first is very simple lang, by payment, of course, no? By payment or performance. Ibig sabihin, kung may utang ka na pera, bayaran mo. Okay? Kung merong pinagagawa sa iyo, gawin mo. Okay? So by payment or performance, doing something, delivery, a sum of money, or doing or not doing, yan yung isang modes of extinguishing obligations. Another is loss of the thing due. Okay, so nawala na yung bagay na kailangan i-deliver. Meaning, yung prestation or yung subject are not available anymore. Nawala na siya. Of course, there's a possibility na nawala na. So, ibig sabihin, wala na ring obligation. Now, condonation. Okay? Another term for condonation, mga kapatid. Okay? Condonation or remission. Dito papasok actually, ito yung gratuitous condonation. Ibig sabihin, pinatawad si debtor. Okay? Nagkaroon ng utang pagkatapos gratuitously abandonment by the debtor, by the creditor. Okay? So, inabandon na niya yung pagkakautang. Okay? Confusion or merger. Okay? Ibig sabihin, okay, ito yung very applicable sa debts yan. Later, we will discuss it. Okay? Then 5 is compensation. Okay? Compensation. And then, pang-anim is yung tinatawag na novation. Okay? Yan yung mga modes of extinguishing obligations. Yan yung pinaka-main. But, there are additions. Okay? Meron pa tayong additions. That means, meron tayong tinatawag na annulment, rescission, fulfillment of resolutory condition, prescription, ano pa? So, yan yung mga additions. No? Later, we'll discuss it. Okay? Pero ito yung main. Etong 6 na yan, lagi yung napapangasama sa multiple choice questions natin. So, siguro magpo-focus tayo dito. Okay? And then, I will share with you. Okay, sige. Parang dapat gawa natin ng acronyms. Okay? So, pwede natin gawa ng acronyms yan. PLCCCN. Okay? So, pwedeng i-acronyms mo yan. PLCCCN. Okay? Pag gumawa ka ng acronyms, paano? Pag gumawa ka ng acronyms, pwede yung P, L, 3, Cs, N. Okay? PL, pagkatapos 3 yung C, N. Okay? 3C, PL, 3Cs, N. Okay? So, yan yung acronym natin na pwede mong gawin. Ako, mahilig ako sa acronym para madali mong matandaan. So, tinanong sa multiple choice questions, which of the following is not a modes of extinguishing obligation? So, alam mo na kagad kung wala dito sa list, then yun na yung sagot. Okay? Now, let's move on dun sa PowerPoint na ginawa ko. I have done a PowerPoint actually. So, I'll go and share it with you. Okay? So, let me just share my screen. Okay? So I can share my screen with you. Entire screen. Just a moment, okay? Gumawa na tayo ng PowerPoint natin. Yan na yun. Okay, so ang topic natin is, okay, no need na. Dito na lang ako. Pupwesto ako. Actually, I have some notes. Gumawa rin ako ng notes. See, I will just go through with it once we go through with the topics. Okay? So, extinguishment of obligations ang topic natin. So, sinabi ko na, payment or performance, loss of the thing due, condonation or remission of debt, and then confusion or merger, compensation, novation, and others such as annulment, rescission, fulfillment of resolutory condition, and prescription. Ibig sabihin, nag-prescribe na. Okay? So, yan yung ating extinguishment of obligations. Yan yung modes. Now, we'll go through one by one. Usually kasi, ang lagi diyang tinatanong talaga, ang main focus dyan is yung payment or performance. Okay? So, kailangan pag-aralang mabuti yan. Okay? Now, if you are going to ask me ano yung book na ginagamit for obligations and contracts, I really encourage you to use Hector De Leon. Okay? Kung reviewer yan, Suarez tayo. Okay? Now, before I move on, again, okay, so I have a special promotion. I will open again yung enrollment para sa test banks and handouts natin tomorrow. Okay, so this is a Valentine offer. Check your email address. Okay, I'm sending you my Valentine's Day story. Okay, so that is tomorrow. Check your email. Okay, and then this will be available. No, ito yung test banks and handouts natin. And every Saturday, I'm doing recording or sometimes online Zoom session. Okay? So, yan po yun. Okay, just go to www.cpadreams.com, go to courses. Okay? Now, let's move on sa discussion. Okay, payment or performance. Okay? Ito yung fulfillment of the prestation. Kasi, di ba, yan naman talaga yung ating subject. Okay? Kaya merong dapat mangyaring payment or performance or doing or not doing. Okay? Ano yung requisites natin? Dapat laging merong valid payment. Okay? Merong nagbayad at merong nag-receive. Okay? Sa nag-receive, actually, dapat capacitated. Pag incapacitated, yan, hindi valid ang payment. Okay? Things to be paid. Of course, dapat meron talagang babayaran. And yung manner, time and place of payment is kailangan talaga is clearly kung saan ginawa. Usually, of course, at the domicile of the creditor, okay, or at his residence, or kung any agreement or stipulation on the contract or obligations, then that should be the place, the time, and manner of payment. Okay? Now, let's move on. Who can pay? Okay, debtor or his agent. Okay, interested party like co-debtors, guarantors, sureties. Okay, not an interested party but merong consent ni debtor. Okay, dito papasok actually, pwedeng i-refuse yung payment. Okay, unless expressly stipulated. Okay, pwede rin namang not interested party without the knowledge or against the will of the debtor. Ibig sabihin, mayroong magandang loob na magbayad ng iyong utang, okay, against your will. In this case, no, parang ito yung payment of a third person, okay? Now, right of reimbursement, meron siyang right as to the extent of the payment made or beneficial to the creditor, okay? So, may karapatan siyang makuha yon. Does not intend to reimburse. Kung hindi i-reimburse kasi, walang consent si debtor. So, anong nangyari? It's a deemed donation. Okay? Now, let's move on dun sa to whom payment should be made. Kagaya ng sabi ko, dapat is, ito yung person authorized, no? Pagkatapos, dapat capacitated. Okay? Creditor, his heirs, or authorized representative. Okay? Kung wrong party ang naka-receive ng payment, so that is not valid. Okay? Except kung si creditor ang at fault. Okay? But if it is made in good faith, then the person in possession of credit, kailangan niyang ibigay yon kay creditor. Okay? Now, again, sabi ko, incapacitated person, it is not valid. Okay? Walang requirements ng proof. Okay? Kung hindi talaga si creditor ang naka-receive. Okay? Now, let's move on. So, ito yung third persons acquires the creditor's right after payment. Yung creditor, pwede niyang i-ratify din yung payment na nangyari dun sa kung third person ang nagbayad. Okay? But, kung si creditors naman is naniwala na okay for his benefits to, then he should reimburse yung third person. Okay? And kung ang nangyari naman is ni-receive ng or na sinabi nung third party na ako naman talaga ang dapat makareceive niyan, pero hindi naman talaga. Okay, so nagkaroon ng unauthorized receiving of the payment. So that is not valid. Okay, that is not a valid payment as well. Okay, so assignment of credit without notice to the debtor. Okay, nagkaroon ng assignment. Okay, now let's move on so that is payment. What to pay? Of course, it is a thing. Okay, the thing or service agreed upon. So, yun yung performance. Okay, money in the currency is stipulated. Of course, dito papasok na yung payment of legal payment or the legal tender. Okay, sa Philippines, of course, in peso, the bills, no? Yan yung mga kailangan. Pero ang checks, hindi siya considered legal tender. Okay, tatandaan mo yan. Okay, hindi legal tender. Okay, ang check unless it is in cash already. Okay, interest must first be paid before the principal. So, ang application ng payment, nauna lagi si interest bago si principal. Okay, now, punta tayo sa how payment is made. Okay, alam na natin to. Pwede yung full payment. Okay, or substantial. Okay, let's move on sa where to pay. Okay, in the designated place. Okay, where the thing at the moment of the obligation was constituted. Okay, domicile of the debtor. Okay, so it is the domicile of the debtor. Okay, special forms of payment. Okay, ito yung paraan ng pagbabayad. So, pwedeng payment by decision. Okay, ito yung sinasabi na may cede or assign his property to his creditor. So, ibig sabihin, hindi makabayad, meron kang property, then inassign mo na para mabayaran mo yung pagkakautang mo. Unless there's a stipulation na shall only be released the debtor from responsibility for the net proceeds of the things assigned. Kung hindi enough yung property na na-liquidate na marireceive ni creditor, then kailangan mo pa rin bayaran yung natitira na amount. Okay? Hindi si creditor nagmamay-ari ng property. Ang kailangan is, meron lang siyang right to proceed to the sale. Okay? Para lang ibenta yung property. Okay? Now, Dacion En Payment. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag na Dacion En Pago or payment in kind. Okay? So, ito is nasa Article 1245. Okay? Yung property alienated to the creditor in satisfaction of a debt in money shall be governed by law of sales. Okay? Yung Dacion En Payment, no? Okay, Dacion En Pago is meron niyang pre-existing credit. Sa sales, walang pre-existing credit. Sa sales, merong freedom to determine the price. Sa Dacion En Pago, less freedom. Okay, so yan yung mga differences nila. Okay? So, it extinguishes the obligation to the extent of the value of the thing delivered. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng partial ang extinguishment ng obligation or totally. Kasi pagka-sale yan, kung ano yung price na napagkasunduan, nabayaran, so that is totally extinguishment sa law on sales. Dito, kung Dacion En Pago ang nangyari, maaring partial pa lang yan. Kung hindi kompleto yung hindi equal value yung na-receive. Okay? Now, let's move on. Tender of payment and consignation. Ito yung tinatawag na depositing. Okay? Yung tender of payment, it is an offer payment to the creditor. Okay? Now, kung for a valid tender payment, so there is a necessary, okay, that there be a fusion of intent, ability, and capability to make good of such offer. Okay? Now, dun sa consignation, yun yung sinasabi ko na i-deposit yung team due at the disposal of judicial authority. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan i-deposit ito sa court, especially kung merong refusal na nangyari ang creditor to accept the payment. Okay? Now, prior tender of payment is required. Okay? And then, dito sinasabi sa Article 1256, no, if the creditor to whom tender of payment has been made refuses without just cause to accept it, then the debtor shall be released from responsibility by the consignation of the thing or sum due. Okay, so usually kasi i-deposit na sa court yung amount, pagkatapos ang mangyayari doon, automatically extinguish na yung obligation ni debtor. Okay? Whether yung debtor ay yung creditor sabihin niya na hindi, wala na siyang magagawa. Ang korte na ang naghatol niyan. Okay? Now, when tender of payment is not necessary, creditor is absent or unknown, hindi mahanap kung nasan si creditor. Creditor is incapacitated to receive the payment at the time it is due. Okay, so ayaw naman ni debtor na in delay at kung may interest pa yan, so ang ginawa niya is consignation. Automatically, walang tender of payment na nangyari, nagdiretso na siya sa court to deposit. Okay, creditor refuses to give receipt without just cause. Okay, this is very important. Lagi ka dapat merong receipt. Kung ikaw ay nag-practicing accountant, siguro naman alam mo yung receipt voucher. Okay, kung nagbabayad ka, so alam mo rin yung payment voucher. Lagi po dapat merong evidence of financial transactions. Kung meron laging lalabas at may papasok na pera, dapat, mga kapatid, ngayon pa lang, especially if you are in your BSA, undergraduate, so kailangan lagi tatandaan mo, merong dapat resibo. Okay, meron ka dapat evidence. Okay? Now, let's move on. Okay, 2 or more persons claim the same right to collect. So, deposit it. Kahit walang tender of payment, gawin mo na yung consignation kasi ang daming nagkiklaim ng right para mangolekta. Let the court decide for it. Okay? So, title of the obligation has been lost. Okay? Yan yung. Now, punta tayo sa requisites of consignation, the existence of a valid debt. Okay? So, mayroon talagang valid debt, no? Valid prior tender unless tender is excused. Okay, prior notice of consignation. Okay, bago niya dineposit, nagbigay siya ng notice kay creditor na okay, dideposit ko na to kasi hindi mo tinanggap o hindi kita makita. Okay, so nagpadala na lang siya ng notice or letter. Now, there will be an actual consignation or deposit. Okay, so dapat talaga mangyari yan. And then, magbibigay ng subsequent notice na na-consign na yung amount or money dun sa court, no? Para malaman talaga nandun na. Then, the creditor needs to go to the court and claim it. Okay? Ito, very important to. Once the consignation has been validly made, okay, so the debtor may ask the judge or order the cancellation of the obligation. Hence, will be released in the same manner as if he had performed the obligation at the time of consignation. Okay, so pakitandaan lang yan, pa-screenshot. Okay, usually kasi minsan may mga ganyang cases na napapasama. Okay, now loss of the thing due, alam naman natin yan, is extinguished if the thing is lost or destroyed without the fault of the debtor and before he has incurred in delay. Usually, this is fortuitous events. Okay? Specific yung obligation, so obligation is extinguished. Kung yan ay determinate, then not extinguished. So, ibig sabihin, dito is applicable sa specific thing. Okay? Now, let's move on na. I will not go through with it kasi na-discuss ko na to before. No? Yung mga partial loss and impossibility. Punta tayo sa condonation or remission of the debt. Okay, ito na yung act of liberality. So, essentially gratuitous and dapat, of course, merong acceptance si obligor. Okay, so tinanggap na pinapatawad na siya. Okay, yan lang yon. Ito yung pinakamadali sa modes of extinguishing obligation. Okay, Again, so ito yung equivalent. Okay, it may become Dacion En payment or novation. Okay, ano ba yung novation? Okay, punta tayo sa novation. When the object or principal condition of the obligation should be changed. Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng change of prestation. Okay, so compromise. When the matter renounced is in litigation or dispute, an exchange of some concession which the creditor receives. Okay, meron nakipag-compromise si creditor. Okay, merong changes na nangyari, sinabi, okay, pwede tayong mag-agree on something else. Okay, so that is compromise. Now, confusion or merger of rights. Okay, so this is, ito yun, nandito. Confusion or merger of rights, the meeting in one person of the qualities of the creditor and the debtor with respect to the same obligation. Ibig sabihin, yung debtor and creditor is at the same position na ngayon. Okay, with respect to the same obligation. Isang tao lang, naging creditor and debtor siya. Okay, ano yung requisites natin? Ito yung take place between the creditor and debtor, involves the same obligation, must be total. Okay, so yan yung requisites. Pakitandaan, kasi yan lang naman talaga sa confusion or merger. So, ang pwedeng itanong dyan, okay, magbibigay ng case, okay, meron bang nangyaring confusion or merger or of rights? Now, kung hindi, of course, kalimitan binabago ang obligation. Pag binago ang obligation, pero isang tao pa rin yan, walang confusion or merger na nangyari. Okay, pag binago ang obligation, pero hindi nagbago ang creditor and debtor, then ang tawag dyan, novation. Okay? Now, let's move on sa compensation. Ito is mode of extinguishing obligations whereby two persons in their capacity as principals are mutual debtors and creditors of each other with respect to equally liquidated and demandable obligation. Okay? Dito is parang ang nangyari naman is yung two persons no na principal sila ay parehong merong utang to each other, na merong kailangan i-liquidate, okay? And i-communicate ni third party, okay? So, ito yung tinatawag na compensation, okay? Now, ano yung requisites nito? Each obligors be bound principally, okay? Dito is sinasabi both debts in a sum of money, or if the things due are consumable. Kailangan same kind din, same quality rin. Okay? Two debts be due. Okay? Kailangan yung parehong utang is due na sila pareho. And it is liquidated and demandable. Okay? Now, of course, compensation is not allowed in the case of depositum, comodatum, support, and civil liability arising from crime. Okay, so etong novation, I just already said this, substitution or change of the obligation by a subsequent one which terminates it. Okay, ito yung tatandaan mo lang dito, changing its objects or principal conditions. Okay? Now, may be modified. Okay, alam na natin to, sinabi ko, object or principal conditions. Substitution, may pwede rin to, no? The person of the debtor. Okay, subrogating a third person. Pwedeng humanap ng third party na siya na yung may rights, no, dun sa creditor. Okay? Meron ng rights ang creditor para puntahan si debtor, pero third party na. Okay? So, test of incompatibility. So, ito naman is two obligations can stand together, each one with its own independent existence. Okay, so ito is, hindi naman ito masyadong tinatanong. Okay, move on tayo. Okay, ito is mga terms na lang. Okay, expromission. Ito is initiative of the change that does not emanate from the debtor and may be even without his consent. Okay, merong expromission na yung third party is nag-assume ng obligation. Okay, now, usually, etong expromission, meron siyang consent of the third person. Okay? Okay, another pa din, modes of extinguishing obligations is yung delegation. Okay? The debtor offers the creditor to accept a third person o consents to the substitution. Okay, so nangyayari yan. So, pwede mong i-delegate yung obligation mo, pero dapat with the consent of the creditor. Okay, so magkakaroon ng substitute or third person. Okay, pero this time, merong consent. Okay, punta tayo sa, I think that's it. Okay, we finish it. Okay, so it's very, okay, so madali lang, no? Okay, so yun. Okay, I think madali lang ang modes of extinguishment of obligations. Okay, so I hope na natuto kayo, okay, sa obligations part. So we'll go through dun sa contracts later. Okay, so again, maraming salamat, okay, for following us in CPA Dreams and for our discussions, no. Ako personally, I really want to thank you for being here kasi I valued your time. Okay? So maraming salamat po. May God bless you and enjoy your weekend.